Hi, Jenni here, and kind of accidentally, I've already read 60 books this year. I've been watching Booktube for years now, and when the end of the year would come around, and Booktubers would have videos with titles of I read over 100 books this year, I read over 150, I read 200 books this year. It has always made me feel some type of way. One, envious because I have never been able to do that. Question, like how the hell were they able to do this? And three, did they actually read those? But as I've been on Booktube, I've kind of come to realize that obviously when you have a Booktube channel that is very, very successful, you have time to read because it is your job. After years of wondering how the hell were all these booktubers reading so many books, it came to me oh right, because that's their job, reading books and reviewing them on YouTube. Now I know my reading of over 60 books is still not close to what other booktubers read. Yeah, when I got to the 60 mark way before the year had ended, and I thought I would never even read 60 books, let alone 45. I was kind of oh, did I become one of those booktubers who just read books and then share videos about how amazingly they've done? But here's the difference between me and another booktuber who has read over 100 books a year. I am unemployed. When you don't have a job, you have more time to read. Now, of course, I do a lot of other things. I apply to a lot of jobs. I've applied to countless jobs. I stopped counting after getting 40 rejections. So yeah, while I still am busy in my daily life, when you don't have a daily job that you go to and it takes 8 hours of your day or more, you somehow have more time to read. When it comes to my thinking of, well, did they actually even read all of these books? I think from my personal experience, I can say that I definitely read all of them and really delved into them. And every time I finished a book, I write a little something into a docs file that I have about the book and my opinions on it. And I also post book reviews on my Bookstagram account, jenskosmos. And I'm sure all those other booktubers who read over 100 books a year do that as well. So what's next for the reading for this year? I assume that I'm still going to be unemployed for the end of the year. The times are tough. In Finland, we have the second worst unemployment situation just behind Spain in all of EU. So I'm not really hopeful that I'm getting a new job by the end of the year. Hopefully some gig work. But yeah, I will continue on reading. I'm currently reading this nonfiction book about Palestine. Well, it's more of a pamphlet. It's about 100 pages and about how capitalism makes all of the occupation and apartheid even worse. I'm also reading this Finnish book by a local author currently. I have a lot of books in Finnish that I still have to read. I think some of them I will save until next year. I've also ordered a couple of books that I still want to read this year. For example, The Eyes of Gaza by Plesti Al-Agat, and also some library books as well. But I think my main point that I wanted to make with this video is that please do not compare your reading pace and how many books you read in a year to others. I've done that before and it, for a while, made reading very difficult, felt like a chore. And I do not recommend that to anyone. I don't really set reading goals. I understand that for some people that helps with discipline and making sure that you absolutely do read when you have these goals. But you also have to remember that reading is supposed to be a hobby and it's supposed to be something that intellectually engages with you, at least some of the time. So maybe setting goals and comparing your reading pace to others doesn't really help with that, if that makes sense. And I know that I am in a very privileged position as an unemployed person. I know if I was unemployed in the United States, for example, I would be fucked. Of course, it's not ideal right now either, but it could be a lot worse, and I'm really thankful that I am in the place that I am. If you want to hear more about like my thoughts on unemployment and like the current state of our society, please let me know. I would love to rant about that. But this year I feel like I've also been more intentional with my reading. I've read a lot of classics, much more than in my previous years, and I've read them with other people, which has made the reading experience much more engaging, and I felt more present while reading. Yes, part of it is thanks to being unemployed, but still I've put so much more effort into focusing and being present while reading. Some of my top favorite books that I've already read this year, obviously I'm going to make my book awards video at the end of the year, but currently contenders for favorite books is Middlemarch. Obviously, that book changed my life. It was absolutely incredible. Small Boat by Vincent Delacroix. That was an absolutely amazing book. Stillborn by Guadalupe Nettel. Another incredible one. Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. That was an incredibly beautiful reflection and meditation on grief and loss. Shauna Robinson's new book, Lauren Harper Falls Apart, was really lovely. And again, I feel like I've had a really great reading year thus far. And I guess that's where I'll end my scattered thoughts about reading so many books this year. And my main message that I want to tell you, the viewer, is that please do not compare yourself to others and to what you see online in book spaces. And just remember that your daily life is very different from somebody else's. And if you get any reading done ever, that's already incredible. Jenni here. I just wanted to thank you for 400 subscribers. I can't believe that there are so many people from all over the world who are interested in my videos. It feels really, really amazing to see my channel grow. And I'm just so thankful to all of you who tune into my videos. I know I make videos about many different topics like literature, pop culture, TV shows. So I'm really thankful that some of you have decided to stick around for all of them. And yeah, it means a lot. Also want to say special thank you to Joel, my fiance, who helps me out with this channel so much. I also want to thank my friends who watch this channel. Thank you so much for supporting your girl. It feels incredible that I've had this channel for 4 years and I've reached 400 subscribers. I never thought that my little channel would reach that number, so thank you. Alright, so that was a quick video about how many books I've read this year and how and why. How many books have you read this year? Please let me know in the comments below. What are your favorites thus far? I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one. Bye!